Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ancasta interview series. My name is Sam and I'm the brand manager for Prestige Yachts here at Ancasta. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Erwin Bamps, Director General of Prestige Yachts, and Erik Stromberg, Director of Marketing and Product Development for the brand. Welcome to you both.
Good afternoon.
Ancasta have a great and long partnership with Prestige Yachts, and we're very grateful for your time. So thank you very much for joining us today. Okay, I think we'll get into it. My first question of the day is: Prestige is one of the three big players in the motor yacht market. What is the magic DNA that has led to this achievement?
Well, there's several keys to our success, and when you talk about being a French boat builder, I know that a lot of people are thinking about the Côte d'Azur, imagining that nice environment of the Mediterranean and that smooth water out there. So when people are thinking of us building boats and sea trialing them, then they think that we are out there every day in the sunshine of the southern French coastline. But unfortunately for this people, we actually not always in the sun. We're here at the west coast of France, and our seafaring heritage is actually that one of facing the Atlantic Ocean. So when we do sea trials with our Prestige yachts, we trial them. We are out there in the Atlantic Ocean to try them, and between France or here in France going further west, we just hit the US. There's nothing between France and Americas from here. With that in mind, the people who have built and tried boats on this coastline have always considered that they should be seagoing vessels with a performance and a reliability that is the first priority and foremost concern. But add to that, of course, the French heritage of a fine art de vivre, enjoying life, the luxury aspect that comes with, enjoying the nice things in life. Prestige stands for that luxury that people are looking for, and with an interest in integration of innovation, new technologies, but doing it purposefully, making sure that they are very livable boats. And if you combine that finally with a global orientation towards a clientele that's spread all over this planet, and the industrial prowess of a group like the Beneteau Group, we have a combination of contributing factors that has led for Prestige to become the predominant player in the flybridge market between 40 and 60 foot today. And for us, there are exciting times ahead because there's a lot of ambitious plans ahead of us for the further expansion globally and also in our product range.
Perfect. We'll talk about the future of Prestige later, but yeah, beautifully answered. Thank you very much. What would you say are the key features of Prestige Yachts?
I think, other than the kind of the heritage part that I think Erwin, explained very well, for us, the key features have always been about this sort of family cruising on board, and everything that we bring to the table in terms of the features have to contribute to that mission. So in terms of the key features, we're very well known for ease of maneuverability. We were some of the first adopters of IPS technology, pod drive technology, joystick control. For us, that's a real key feature in order to make that time on the water with the family as stress-free as possible. So maneuverability is a key feature. We've always, on the interior of the layouts, sought to really create a surprise, to really treat the owner in a very different way than what we find in the market. That can be seen very clearly with the wide body forward design of a lot of the larger Prestiges, with the separate owner's entrance, a lot of treatment of the owner in a very different way. After all, it's their home, it's their yacht. They choose to bring the people with them. So that for us is a key feature, is that different way of treating the master suite and so forth on board. And of course, on the main deck, one of the things that we find, of course, is this 360-degree view. And that is brought along with the design from Garoni Design and so forth, to create a space where you're out on the water, and every angle that you look at, you see the water, you see the environment. You're not shut up in a boat somewhere. It's really the experience of being on the water that is a key design feature of Prestige.
Perfect. That's definitely a lot of the of our client feedback as well, has been, the innovation that they see from Prestige is what keeps them loyal to the brand, and it's something that is one of the key factors in their choice in going for the Prestige.
And I think Erwin said as well, this idea that there's lots of innovations out there, there's lots of ideas, there's lots of technology, there's lots of things that you can bring to the table, but we're very kind of leery of just the gimmicky type stuff that comes and goes. And we really try to seek out the innovations that contribute to this sort of family cruising ethos. And in that case, all the innovations and all of the features that we bring have to have a purpose. They have to be useful. They have to bring something. They're not just there to be there.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Erwin mentioned briefly before, but which sort of leads on to my next question, which was that Prestige has achieved the status of world's largest powerboat manufacturer in the 40 to 60 foot sector by the number of units you produce. Would you be able to give us a bit of an insight into the scale of your production, please?
Well, it didn't happen overnight, for sure. The first Prestige were built and sold in 1989. There was a Prestige 41 at the time, and that's 31 years ago. We celebrated our 30th anniversary last year. And today, Prestiges are being assembled here in Les Herbiers, on the west coast of France, not too far of Nantes, between Nantes and Bordeaux. And we are on a 100-acre site with an industrial covered space of about 170,000 square foot. But honestly, that's not the only place where everything's produced, because the interiors are built by us. The parts come from all different internal subcontractors, and of course from an important supply chain spread all over the country and Europe as well. And therefore we rely very much on that industrial prowess of the Beneteau Group, which has through its savoir-faire and boat building of more than 100 years helped us to create what is today Prestige, but which through its financial capability and global reach has helped us also to spread the product globally. And it's that global network approach which has also brought us where we are today, with a very strong presence of Prestige, for instance, in the US market as well. Today, if we look back at that 30-year history, we have built over 4,000 units that are afloat across the 7 seas, with over 40 models introduced during those years, all between 40 and 70 foot. And we see a further expansion, though, in that product range, a horizontal expansion in the near future.
Thank you very much. I know, obviously, at the moment, travel is a little bit restricted, but throughout the year, you put on exclusive days and factory tours for all of our clients, who are pretty astounded by what they see, and the professionalism by the woodwork team to the the upholsterers. Everything is a delight to see.
The factory is an impressive thing to see, and even people who visited other boat factories and so forth. But it's definitely an impressive thing. We have almost 200 visits per year of people who come to see, either to see before purchasing, or to come and visit their boat while it's on the line. And each one of those is really it's a special moment for us, when people get to see what we do, and And you've seen it as well as you walk through the pride that everybody has on the line for what they're building and what they're putting out there. So it's a special, magical place. Yes.
Perfect. You also, it was a recent development for the team to have your sea trial base in Spain as well. Has that been a success so far?
For us, it started well, and then of course it fell a victim a little bit to the travel restrictions and everything that we have. But the idea of being able to have boats ready to go in the water is it's well received, but we'll have to wait a little while longer before everything gets back up.
Of course.
Yeah, as you know, Sam, we have organized worldwide a number of events, sea trial events, where we invite people to try out the new products or existing products, but they never had the chance, unfortunately, to try it out. And whether it was in Cannes or in Monaco or even in Florida, we have been creating opportunities like that. So we have our sea trial base, but we're trying to create as many events as possible, which still today is not as easy as we would want to. But we'll continue to try and make sure that people can really see for themselves what the easy maneuverability is all about, because that's a key element in our product design and value offering.
Perfect. Thank you. One of the the latest model to join the Prestige lineup is the X70. I've seen it myself. It's a really ingenious yacht, and been very well perceived by previous Prestige owners and the world's media. It's been sort of hailed as a bit of a game changer. It'd be great just to find out a little bit about where that journey began and what were the sort of inspirations that led to this new product.
It goes back about a little over 3 years in terms of when the idea was sort of being batted around between the Garoni Design Studio and us here at Prestige. We saw a real trend in the market that was towards kind of the beyond the flybridge type movement. Obviously the flybridge business is really the core of the market, but we were seeing inklings of smaller types of designs coming out as the certain things that we saw coming from the super yacht industry as well, in terms of different types of boats, different types of architecture. And we felt that we needed to make sure that as a global leader, that we be part of that movement towards the sort of the alternative to the flybridge, and perhaps a market that could be a growing market in the future. So we were glad that we went at that time. At that time, it was a little bit of a risk because the market wasn't that well established. The numbers on paper didn't look like there was going to be it didn't have the same kind of ring as redoing a 50-footer or a 60-footer in the range, but we really felt that there was something, and the Garoni design team really worked to create an architecture for the X70 that was unique in the market, and it remains unique even today. So it could be something that would not only give us access to that market and help grow that market, but also bring something completely new to the game. So for us, it's been a game changer. It's been very well received, and the people that have managed to get on board and take a look. As we show the boat more, it becomes more and more part of the conversation, and people sort of get around the ideas of the innovations that we brought. Because it's a little bit outside of the core business that we do, we could take some additional risks in terms of design, styling, features, and so forth that have really allowed us to push forward some neat things into the market. So it's always a collaborative effort, this type of design, but it really comes from the ideas around the Garoni Design Studio and what they felt was coming, and we were able to sort of craft that along together over these last couple of years, and we're very, very happy to have the X70 as our flagship because it is arrived on a market that is really starting to mature.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said before, it was viewing it was it's a pretty special boat, completely different to your typical Prestige DNA nature. A few changes have been made, but yeah, on the aft deck especially, it's unlike anything else on the market, which is obviously why it's done so well, and very much looking forward to getting more of our customers on board in the springtime. I'll go into plan hopefully.
Yeah, it's one of the things when you do something that is a little bit different, people sort of have to see it and feel it to believe it. You know, and it is a boat that has to be experienced. And as I say, we put more people on it, we get a lot of great feedback. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Definitely, as we've been going through the pandemic, it's given a lot of people the chance to slow down and just think a little bit about the environment and everything going on. Our clients seem to be, and definitely there's a move towards this, is paying more attention to the environmental impact of their day-to-day lives and indeed their product choices. Our Prestige, what changes have you made to sort of align yourself in more of a green environment, as it were?
Well, we take obviously we're sailors and people who love the sea before anything else. So we take a very holistic approach at Prestige and within the group, the Veneto group in general, to the way that we can make more environmentally conscious boating decisions. So the holistic approach starts really even at the design phase to build boats that are again are weight optimized, the engines are optimized. All of that has a huge effect on the consumption of the boat from a fuel standpoint, from a material standpoint. One of the things that we've seen, it's obviously something that we see with the X70, but we see it across other yachts and other people as well, is that one of the key ways to reduce consumption and so forth is to reduce the speed of the boats, because a boat going at 18 or 20 knots consumes half of what would be going at 30 knots. So we also see people more conscious about going a little bit slower, taking a little bit more time, enjoying that time on the water, and thus reducing the consumption that way. So that's sort of on the design end and the way the boats can be used. In terms of materials, we're working with a lot of new material technologies. So we are in the final stages of putting together some work around the natural fiber GRP parts. So using linen, hemp, and so forth. We're just in the final stages of testing, and those will start rolling out this year. So we'll be bringing that to the market. We use, for example, in the construction of the decks and hulls, we use foam coring, and that foam coring is PET recycled plastic. So it's already a recycled element that is in all the core materials of the boats. We're working also on qualifying some new resins coming from Ineos that has been working with again some recycled resins and recyclable resins. So these are all coming in the next 2 or 3 years. But there's a lot of push out there from our suppliers, from the people that we work with on that. In addition, we go to some of the other elements on the boat. All of the woods that are on board a Prestige are FSC certified, so they are farmed in a sustainable way, cultivated in a sustainable way, treated in a sustainable way, low formaldehyde content, and so forth. So there's really a real push towards the general sustainability of the wood, as well as its quality of chemical treatment and so forth on board. We have also things like all of the sheets and bedding that comes with Prestige is all naturally sourced, fair trade, cotton materials, wool materials, and so forth. So even in some of those more luxury goods, we feel that message is important to pass as well. So there isn't any small step that we're not willing to consider. And we think that the idea is to keep putting into place all of these technologies and choices and products and so forth. As soon as they become mature and available to put on, that is our mission, is to put them on. So we can't wait until the perfect solution exists out there in the world. We need to take all of these steps now, and all of the steps for us contribute to this sort of holistic vision that we have for sustainability.
Perfect. Yeah, it's fascinating. Sorry, Erwin, on you go.
No, I think it goes even beyond the product, of course. It goes to the level of integrating in there also an approach to the manufacturing of the product. We have quite a large industrial footprint in this French landscape, and even on a global level with factories of the group in Poland, and Slovenia, and in the US, and so on. And so our daily concern is also to make sure that our our impact on the landscape and the environment in which we produce these beautiful vessels have of course as little ecological impact as possible while we develop our economic activities. So it is a holistic approach beyond the product design even as well. So.
Perfect. It's good to hear, and it's fascinating to understand. Even some of the mixtures that you're going to be using to in the resin. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that when you.
Yeah, there's some great fiberglass technology coming, and it's being pushed mainly again by bigger actors than ourselves. Unfortunately, the marine industry remains a smaller player in that. But what you see coming from the automobile and from the aerospace technology point is allowing us to integrate in more and more of this much more advanced and sustainable technology.
Perfect. So we've talked obviously a bit about what has brought Prestige into the top three globally. Your factories, the DNA, some of the exciting new models. Would you be able to give us a little peek into the future? What's coming next in terms of new models, the direction of the company, just anything that would that our viewers would be excited to hear about?
Well, if you look at our recent developments and launches, you see in there the 420, which was not long ago launched, where we are helping people to explore the universe of Prestige, to step up from sport cruisers and weekend boating to yachting. And it's important for us to try and open up yachting to an ever larger clientele globally. And we launched the X70, which is showing clearly our capability to think outside the box, to take inputs and requests from various markets, from various client profiles, and combine that in an original and unique way and create a completely different approach to boating and yachting and life on the water, and turning it really into real estate, not on stilts, but able to float around and explore the world while you live the comfort of a home away from home. And what we already announced earlier last year was the imminent introduction of the new 690, which is a completely redesigned and updated version of our previously successful Prestige 680, but with a completely different approach to outdoor entertainment areas, with a higher level of fit and finish, in line with what people have already seen if they had the opportunity to come on board of the X70 in the X line introduction. And that 690 is not just a new and upgraded version of what was previously the 680, completely redesigned, but it's also in this way the new flagship of what we at the same time have now renamed as our Flybridge, our F line. And so that has, together with the introduction of the X70, now created three distinguishable lines under Prestige. The S line, which stands for the sporty line of yachts that we offer with opening roof, large opening roof that allows you to enjoy the breeze, or with the sports flybridge. The F line, which stands for the flybridge and which people are quite acquainted with, and then the X line, which is offering a complete new concept. And so the X70 and 690, both being models over a 60 foot, show our clear ambition to not rest on our achievements in the 40 to 60 foot flybridge range worldwide, but of course also establish ourselves as a key player in the 60 to 80 foot flybridge market. And so those two products will show not only our ambition to be a strong player in that market segment, but to also indicate that we are continuing to invest in an ever more refined finish, fit, and material selection. And well, beyond that, Looking at the 2021-22 season, we're looking to expand, as I referred to already, to horizontal expansion of our product range to add more models to the lineup of 13 boats we have so far. And that would be showing people that the X line is truly a family of products and not one single product to look at. So future is sunny and bright and definitely exciting for the X line and for Prestige as a whole. Maybe Erik, you wanted to add something to that as well, because I know you're.
Yes, no, it is true. There's a real push for us, as Erwin said, on the fit and finish, on bringing all of that up, because that's the way we want to go into that larger boat market. I think it's important, again, what Erwin says regarding the entry level and to be able to have that accessibility into the brand. It's something that a lot of builders sort of gave up over time by moving bigger and bigger. And we want to make sure that even if we do have ambitions in the larger yachts and we're starting to get some good traction with those yachts, that we don't lose sight of what has made Prestige a global leader today, which is bringing people into the brand and showing them what a motor yacht can do and how you can live on the water in this way. So it's really those two missions that we have to make sure that we balance correctly to have success in the market.
Yeah, it's a huge achievement to being the number one player in the 40 to 60 foot segment. So hopefully with this new 690 and the X70, that will you'll increase your bracket to include 70 footers. Yeah, certainly from what I've seen so far, I can see that as being achievable. Some of the big things about the X70 and what looks like is going to be similar on the 690s. Yes, you're a production yard, but the client has quite a lot of say in terms of the layout from the saloon to the cockpit to the flybridge. Is that something we'll see more on Prestige, or?
For sure. I mean, we live in a world now where there's a lot more choice. There's a lot more personalization. Even on the smaller boats these days at 42 or 46 feet, people who want different carpets, different woods and so forth. These are things that that we do more and more of. And for sure, at that larger size, we have to, without losing all of the industrial logistics and everything that the industry allows us to do, to be able to design and build yachts that have more personalization in them. And we found a pretty good balance here over the last couple of years to really be able to offer a boat that is at a good value price, but with a lot of choice in the materials, in the layouts, in the features, and so to adapt to any different program.
Perfect. Well, I'm looking forward to getting on board the 690 in the next couple of months.
Yes.
On the following interviews, we'll be able to give you a tour of the boat, and I don't think that'll be a long time from now. We're looking to launch it in spring, and if possible, we'd like to invite people on board as soon as possible.
Perfect. That would that'd be great. Very much looking forward to it. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's been absolutely fascinating. Thank you again for joining us. It's brilliant to get a bit more of an insight into the world of Prestige yachts, and I hope everyone at home watching this has enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll do another one soon, and in the not too distant future we can do this on board a 690 or X70, as I'm sure our clients would like to see that. So again, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers.
Cheers.